Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Sujit Patra Ekdam Real Estates. So in the current video, we'll discuss about InvIT. So InvIT is Infrastructure Investment Trust. So it is the another investment option in the infrastructure sectors. In my earlier video also, we have discussed about REIT. So that REIT was about the real estate sector. That was the investment options in the real estate sector. But this InvIT is about in the infrastructure sector. So why this InvIT has come? So this InvIT has come in the year 2014. The first uh, investment trust has come in the year 2014. Subsequently, there are many investment trust has come in InvIT form. And why this InvIT has come? Because you can invest in the infrastructure sector by purchasing shares or equities of the listed companies in the infrastructure sector, but that is having a very limited options. But this in this InvIT, you can own certain uh, property in a limited way, but you can have the ownership. So that's why the InvIT has come, and it is a very good investment options, and it gives us a very good return also. If we discuss about what are infrastructure investment trust, that is what is InvIT. So it is a trust basically which raises money from individuals, companies and institutions to invest in infra projects. So any individuals or companies and institutions can investment in the this investment trust, which are to be utilized in the infrastructure projects, and the money is raised used to construct highways, dams, powers, energy farms, towers, etc., etc. And the revenue generated from these projects are distributed to the unit holders or to the shareholders in the form of dividend, interest income also. So this is the structure of InvIT. That means the here the individuals, the companies and the institutions, they invest in the InvITs. That here the trust forms, and these institutions or individuals or companies, they invest in the InvITs or in the trust, which is managed by the professional managers, and they ultimately invest in the power and telecom sectors, in the road sector, and in the solar and wind sectors. And ultimately, after investment in these sectors, it will the trust or will give the revenue to the investors in the form of dividend. So this is the structure of InvIT. So what are the types of InvITs? So there are two types of InvIT, that is privately held InvITs and the public listed InvITs. So private held InvITs are not listed in the stock exchange. They are thus the purchased by the unit holders within a closed circles. But these public listed InvITs are listed in the stock exchange in the BSE and NSE, and anybody can purchase the units of these listed InvITs. But there is a restrictions about the utilization of the funds. So as per the SEBI regulations, in the in these five sectors only, the trust can invest in the fund, like energy sector such as power generation and distributions. Similarly, in the transport and logistics sector, that means the highways and tolls and roads, and telecommunication sectors like optical fiber networks and telecom towers. social and commercial infrastructure like parks and water and sanitation for public use. That means for irrigation network also. So these are the five segments or the sectors where the funds can be utilized or used as per the SEBI regulations. Should we invest in InvITs or not? Why should we invest? Because there are equities are there in the infrastructure sector, and there are listed companies are there from the infrastructure sector. Why should we invest? So because here the investor get in the form of dividend, interest income and capital gains, because this trust, they distribute 90% of their income to the investors in the form of distribution. So periodically on half yearly basis they declare the dividend to the unit holders. As the asset values grows, they declare the dividend to the unit holder. Similarly, they also give interest to the unit holders. So that is the another advantages of the unit holders who are investing in the InvIT. And suppose the asset value of the trust has gone off and the market price has gone up, the capital value has gone up of the trust, so it will fetch a good return in the form of capital gains. So this are capital gains, you can sell it at a later stage. So these are the forms of return you will get as a investor in by investing in the InvIT. So how to invest? We have seen the what an investor will get, but how will invest? This is a complete beginner's guide for investing in the InvIT. So this invest can be bought and sold like equities in the demat form. Those who are having demat account, they can buy the units and they can sold the units through the stock exchange like BSE and NSE. And these public InvITs are listed on the BSE or NSE, and units can be traded freely. After you purchase the InvITs, it can be traded easily like shares or stocks, but there is no lock-in period. So it is just like a form of shares. You can at any point of time you can purchase, you can sell it also. And this any interested investors can go their brokerage account and trade in publicly listed InvIT using the instrument symbols. And here the added advantage is that there is no minimum investment limit for InvITs holders. There is no minimum limit. Any minimum amount, there is no restriction about the minimum amount. At any amount you can invest in the InvIT. So after investment, what are the advantages? Why should a unit holder would invest in InvITs? The major advantage is it is a long-term and stable income, because for any economy or for economy in India to grow, the infrastructure sector has to grow. So once the infrastructure grows, then these unit holders in the infrastructure sector in the form of InvIT, they will get their stable returns. That means it will give a stable returns. And here you can diversify your portfolio also. Like though you can invest in the infrastructure from the listed company, but here you are getting a ownership. So you are getting a diversification, and these trusts are managed by the professional management. So it will give a better control over the trust for managing. And once the asset value of the trust goes up, it will give a good return, and you will get a good capital gain also. So there are 19 SEBI registered investment trust as on today. So out of these, there are many are private InvITs, and there are some are from the public sector InvITs also, like National Highway Authority and Power Grid Infrastructure Investment Trust. So some are from the public sectors who have invested in the infrastructure trust. So how the InvITs are performing in India? If we see the some of the five companies performance, this power grid performance in terms of market value, this power grid infrastructure in bit, they are having the market value of 11,557 crores market cap. The others like India Grid Trust, they are having market cap of 9586 crores. Similarly, the public sector National Highway Infra Trust by National Highway Authority of India, they have a market cap of 7137, and India Infrastructure Trust also 6348. So these are the market caps of some of the five InvITs trust. So we have discussed a lot about the InvITs and what is the benefit of the unit holders, how you will invest, and what are the plus points, the gain you will get, and how you will invest. So we have discussed in details about the InvITs. So and we'll subsequently will discuss the pros and cons about InvITs and the REIT, comparison between REIT and InvIT, that will also will discuss in my subsequent video. So hope you like my video, and please consider for like, share and subscribe my channel to this video also. Thanks for listening.